Welcome, guys, to the Legacy Aligned podcast. I'm Justin. That's
Oh,
when you introduce yourself.
I thought you were gonna introduce me. And Christina.
This is our first go, so we'll leave that. Look, so we wanted to do this podcast to go along with our new Instagram page. We started a page at brunch. And we just thought it'd be fun to kind of like share our journey and kind of what we do throughout our day to day, and just kind of keep it raw. And then we got a lot of really good feedback from you guys, so we wanted to have a podcast to go along with it, so you can get to know us a little bit more. We also Legacy Labs is the name of our Instagram page, and it's also the name of our peptide line. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. We're going to talk a little bit about wellness, health, family, all of it, really kind of keep a broad spectrum for what we do in our lives. So that's what the purpose of this is. This is the first episode, and I'm really excited to do this.
I'm just super excited.
Definitely.
I think too, we want to mention that what brought us together was alignment, and we see a need in other people in their lives and how we can help them align their lives and give more purpose and align their health and wellness and just to take us, all together. Let's grow together and on our journey just to share, to help other people.
That's why we work out so well. We have the same goals, but
Mm-hmm.
we have our individual goals. We have the same lifestyle. Neither of us drink, do drugs, or anything like that. We're very about, living to be the best version of ourselves, which is how we were able to pour into each other.
Mm-hmm.
And I think in relationships, we can kind of just jump into that, because I think in relationships, and I know in both of our past, like it's always been like, you get busy and things come up, and your life just kind of gets put to the wayside, and you just don't, you just
But
lose it. Yeah,
unbalanced, the
yeah.
relationships that were very unbalanced, where they were draining, where it just wasn't equal. It wasn't equally yoked. It wasn't equally in alignment. There was really no direction and purpose, polarity. And so when we found that finally, we're like, there's definitely a vision and a God-given purpose why we're together, which is why we want to share that and eventually help people also to find their person or their passion and their God-given purpose in life, right? A lot of people walk and live and they don't feel that passion. They don't feel that really drive or ambition for anything. And that's really sad to live like that.
Relationships take work. I think, for people who are just getting to know us, how we met on Instagram. And, I lived in California, you live in Arizona. And when I say relationships take work, you have to have both parties that are willing to do the work. And
Hmm.
for us, it was one of those things where when we realized that we were both willing to do the work, it was a lot. It was a lot of flights. It was a lot of making time for each other. It was a lot of communication, stuff that I don't think either of us were used to doing, or comfortable with at first. And we made it work. We put the work in, and it's crazy, because when you start a relationship off working to make it worthwhile, to be able to go out of your way, invest in each other, time, money, everything else, that that you can you kind of start to you get a different type of bond, I guess. I don't know. I mean, that's my thought.
Oh, you're on point. But reciprocity, as you're speaking, is what really is pointed out, where we set boundaries from the beginning and we have a mutual respect for each other. Like, I admired you. I admired your impact that you have on people. You admired how I impact people in my clinic. So I think we just have such a strong respect for each other that we set boundaries as well. It's not just working and it's not just like butterflies and emotions. There's also a lot of groundwork that we do to be alone and be an individual and to know our worth and to know what we are going to stand for and purpose, but then as well as together, what that means and what that looks like. Like it's very intentional. If there's one word I can say about us, we are very intentional right from the beginning, from day one, from the first phone call. It's been all about intention. Don't you agree?
Yeah, and I think we did the work leading up to us finding each other.
Yeah.
And that's hard work too. We both, poured into ourselves, our health, our businesses. We didn't come to each other broken. We came to each other relatively fixed and with our vision of what we wanted. And I know you did for sure. Like you were very much like, these are my expectations, these are my
Mm-hmm.
standards. Can you meet them? And I said,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but I'll try.
I know, and I remember one phone call specifically that was like, no, you're not going to do this to me. You were like doing other things on the phone. And I'm like, no, I'm not talking to this guy anymore. And you remember?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I either have all your intention, like attention at that moment on our time set apart for our phone call, or I don't want to be on the phone with you.
It's funny after that conversation because one of the main nights, so there was Wednesdays and then there was Thursday nights when I shoot Sick Boys podcast, and we had our time set. This was because you got to remember, if you guys don't know, the time zones change. So sometimes Arizona and California are the same. Sometimes they're an hour difference. And
Hmm.
after we had that conversation, I would have a whole day of filming, a whole day of everything, and then we'd go film Sick Boys. And we had a fixed time that we would FaceTime each other at
7:30.
7:30.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And Sick Boys would wrap up at like 7:15, 7:20. And even JD and I, which we start talking at 4 o'clock in the morning, right? So we talk all day long anyways, but
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the Sick Boys podcast, it was like very like, nope, I have to be, I have a scheduled call at 7:30 with my person, and I'm going to be there for that. So I would pack up, leave the studio, get home, and every single night was the same exact night. We did the same exact thing. You literally were on FaceTime with me. You watched me do my same routine, my supplements, my peptides, make my yogurt. You watched me floss my teeth every single night. And I watched your routine too.
Mm-hmm.
Um, while we were, 6 hours apart, and we weren't able to be together, we did the same exact work and the same exact thing every single day, and it I believe that that's what brought us closer and closer and closer.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that you could have gotten that level of connection from like a traditional like dating somebody in
Right.
your neck of the woods.
Yeah. Well, because initially we're so attracted to each other that I think maybe the physical aspect would have gotten in the way. Like we kind of were separate. We weren't together physically. So we really got to know each other. We spent a lot of time talking, asking questions, just really knowing each other.
Mhm.
So that was definitely a beautiful part of our relationship.
When we weren't together, I never felt like we were apart,
Mm-hmm.
right? We'd wake up, I'd FaceTime you.
Mm-hmm.
It was like I was waking up next to you, you know?
So relative, relating to um, our legacy labs now, like I think all of this is relative to the legacy we want to leave. Like I see how you are as a dad, as a stepfather, and all of our routines and how we are, our mindset. We're molding young men to be strong leaders of their own homes. So I feel that's definitely a major aspect of what we're building too, which is why we named everything legacy. Like what legacy we're leaving behind is very important to us. Um, and just to like help people know, like, what legacy are you leaving behind when you go? Like, to really be mindful of that, like
Mhm.
how we live our lives today. Um, what labor are we putting in?
I
You
like
know,
it that you put it that way because um to me, and the way I look at like how we're structured, it's about doing the work consistently,
Mm-hmm.
right? Sticking to a routine, not negotiating, right? And in doing that, and for you guys who don't know, Christina has an 8 and 9 year old, and I have a 14-year old, all boys.
Mm-hmm.
And in doing that, that's what our boys see. And that's what and that's super super important because they see us working, doing the work, which is the most important thing. And so a lot of people, and especially when we talk about like things like peptides and stuff like that, they're still looking for shortcuts. They're still looking for ways to not actually do the whole entire job. And that's what you're going to show your kids. That's what you're going to show your
Exactly.
partner, that you're a
Mm-hmm.
shortcut person. We took, it was crazy is we accomplished so much in such a short period of time, and yet we took zero shortcuts.
Mm-hmm.
As a matter of fact, we probably took the hardest route
I know.
to do things, but we were able to commit to doing it, stay very, very consistent. And it shouldn't be a surprise that that reflects in our relationship,
Mm-hmm.
that reflects in our mindset, that reflects in our relationship with God and how we're growing towards Him, and that reflects in our bodies and in our
Our
health.
health, our mental health, our parenting, work ethic, everything. Yeah.
Right.
So for sure, like just to help people mind, body, and soul, because we do the whole well-being of ourselves, individually and together. Um, so yeah, it's not just one thing.
It isn't.
No.
It can't be.
Mm-mm.
Right? Because the thing is that most people's excuses for the reason they can't do is several different things. Oh, I have the kids' sports and I got to get them to school. And then I got my job and that's really demanding. And then, I get home and I'm just like so wiped out, but the house has got to be clean and the pets got to get. Guess what? We both own our own businesses. We have several pets that are not in the greatest condition at all times. We have children, right? We have our health, we have our workout routines, we have upkeep, right? Like, guys, listen. When you have a woman like this,
I'll
it's
stop.
upkeep, it's maintenance, and it's all the things that we have to do. And it's funny because like, living together, like, we have our ways of doing things around the house and stuff like that, but we work all day long.
I
And
know.
yet we still find time to connect. We still go to church on Sunday morning. We still have our entire Sunday date. We do several date nights throughout the week or date like time blocks that we pick to connect. Does it always work out? No, but we manage to find a way to
Mm-hmm.
make it usually work out. And it's important. There's no excuse there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the cornerstone is God and our faith,
Hmm.
for sure.
It's funny because, and I was talking about this on last night's Sick Boys, but I think it's relevant to this too. We talk about intentionality, right? And I wasn't, before I moved out here, I wasn't consistently going to church. I was starting to like kind of get
Same.
back into it. I grew up in the church and I've been, involved heavily in the church and Christian music my entire life. But um, we started going to church, right? We started going to the later service and we'd make it, it might be a little bit late or whatever, but we'd make it. We get the boys together and get out there. And then, as we got more into it and as I moved out here officially, and it was like, well, hold on a second. Let's get really intentional about this. So now our Sundays are like very intentional. I get up extra early to get the boys ready so you can focus on yourself, bring you
Mm-hmm.
in coffee because but that's I'm doing that for her because she knows for me, I want to be intentional about my time with God at church. So I want to get there early. I
Mm-hmm.
want to see the people that I've met and made friends with. I want us to be able to drop the boys off and make them feel comfortable going into their youth group. I want to go get coffee with
Your
you.
seat is
I want,
very
and then my
important.
seat, I gotta have my seat. I'm like my grandma. Like I want the best seat in the church. And you guys understand that like that to me, that's not what brings me closer to God. That's not what brings us closer to God. It's being intentional about why we're going on that Sunday and being going out of our way when it might feel good to get the little bit of extra sleep. It might feel good to for other people who like spend their Sundays doing other things, golfing, watching sports, and things like that, where it's like very intentional to take yourself out of a situation and lay your clothes out the night before. Like plan your day around your time with God, not fit God into your day.
Hmm.
And so that was why I wanted it to be that way. And you've been an absolute rock star in the mornings with that, because I know, you don't like to get up early, especially
No,
on Sunday.
I am
But
not a
you knew it
morning
was important
person.
to me.
Yes.
But look at how our Sundays have been. Our Sundays are the best days ever.
It's the best day of the week.
It is. We get to go to church, and then if you guys don't know where we are, but in where we live, but our church is in the same parking lot as our gym.
Hmm.
So we pack our gym clothes, and this is the only day that we train together, because she has her own training style and schedule, and I have mine, and that's kind of our time apart, our time to ourselves. But that's the day that we train together. So we go to church together, drop the boys off at youth group. We go to church, we sit through our sermon, worship, and then we go to the gym together. We get changed, we go upstairs, we train together. We train butt on Sundays. And we even sync our headphones up, and she listens to metal with me. And
Well, that's what is going to make this podcast different. It's not just a traditional wellness podcast. It's going to show what our faith,
mhm,
wellness, our mindsets,
fitness.
fitness, our protocols,
We
everything.
might even get a little intimate on it. I mean, you never know. But yeah, I think this was a good first episode to kind of let you guys know, and just bring you into our lives a little bit. And as we get more used to this, and we, open up to this, it's something that I hope you guys can see what makes us connect. And I hope if you're in a relationship, it can help you connect better with your partner. And maybe you guys want to try doing something like this too. I think us building together too, right? Like it's funny that we can talk on this topic for just a second, but I don't want to spend too much time on this because I'd rather have a whole episode on it. Like men are their happiest when they're building, right?
Mhm.
Women are their happiest when they're building. And we are both entrepreneurs and both business owners. So we're building. And then it was like, well, what happens if we build together on something that we're both extremely passionate about?
Mhm.
And so now it's like, okay, we started the peptide brand. It's crazy. It's awesome. We're having a lot of fun with it. We're doing really well with it. That's great. But then it was like, okay, let's build an Instagram page. It took off. It took off so fast, you guys, that
Uh-huh.
Instagram said, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa! There's a spam. What's going on?" Because we just started posting, and we wanted it to be super authentic and super like just raw.
Mhm.
And then we're like, okay, what else can we build? Let's do a podcast. So here we
Mhm.
are doing a podcast,
Yeah.
and we have other big visions in mind too, but we don't want to crowdsource that. But this is what this is all about. And I think building together and doing these types of things is what keeps us so alive and as busy as we are.
And I see some of the comments from some of, our followers on our page, and sometimes it touches me because they're like, I wish I had what you had. That one guy was like, my partner died and I'll never have love again. And I just want to encourage people that God still has a purpose for your life. Like there's a purpose in everyone. There's a plan for your life. So don't lose hope. Love is still out there. You still have meaning and purpose and work to do while you're here and living and breathing on this planet.
Mhm. What did we hear the other Sunday night? God, what did he say? He said, God will do his perfect plan using imperfect
Yeah,
people.
it's the truth. Yeah, I
I love
think,
that.
yeah, just to give hope to people who feel just hopeless.
Hmm.
It's definitely rewarding to see how people are responding to us. But I don't know, it's sad when I hear comments like that saying, I wish I had love like that. You do. It's there. You just go to your creator first and the rest will follow.
Mm, that's good. I wouldn't have thought of it that way, and I actually really like that.
What was the first one of the first conversations? I was like, yeah, if you're not feeling this, I'm good. Like, I know I'm always good. God has me. I'll always be okay, even if this doesn't work out. I'll be good.
Yeah, I think I was like, yeah, he probably does. I better, I better jump in. Um,
Yeah,
yeah,
but
I wasn't gonna waste any time.
no, you haven't wasted any time.
No,
Yeah, I love you.
I love you. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. If you like what you see, make sure you click subscribe. We're going to clip this up too. We'll put it all over the Legacy Labs AZ Instagram channel. If you guys find us from this, go follow us on Instagram. And we're going to try to put one of these out every week. So thank you for tuning in.
Yes, thank you.